right, welcome to episode 5 of the Girlies and the Besties. Today we are finally talking about Bridgerton season 2. I finally decided to watch it and finish it.
About time.
It's about damn time.
Yes. So we'll kind of just be talking about, for me, for the most part, my first reaction, and then for you guys, it's whatever you guys kind of remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of just talking about all of that. My first question for y'all is, what do you remember?
Well, I did watch a recap,
Oh,
so
Oh,
I
did
did
you?
not.
Oh.
But I also rewatched it like 3 times. So
True.
oh
I
my
should,
god.
True.
I should know
For the most part,
Yeah.
remember everything.
yeah, I watched the recap and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
forgot this happened.
I totally forgot that after I had finished season 1, I totally forgot that Nancy told me, she's like, yeah, I feel like enemies to lovers,
Mm-hmm.
that's basically what season 2 is about. And so while I'm watching it, I'm just like, this whole time. Because I feel like they dragged it out so long.
They did.
And
They
then
did.
yeah, and then after I finished, I was like, duh, that's right. It's an enemies to lovers. What's the word? Trope. Yeah. So I'm like, duh, it's freaking enemies to lovers trope. I also forgot that it focuses on Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I'm like, why are we looking at him? Anyways, I'm gonna talk about kind of just my general reactions first to the entire thing, and then I've got specific questions to kind of ask you guys to get us talking. First reaction really was kind of just that, because I feel like they dragged everything on so freaking long. Like, I was like, in so many, because there's only 8 episodes. There's only 8 episodes. And I feel like already, once you reach kind of like episode 4, you can already tell there's like that sexual tension between both Kate and then Anthony. And so it's kind of like, they're gonna drag this on for 4 more episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was like too. I was like, wait, and I was like, oh, and I was like, wait, there's like 4 more episodes left. I'm like,
I
well,
know.
what are they gonna do? Like,
I know.
at this point, like,
Yeah, I was like, how much more can they add on to the storyline? Like, how much more can we kind of like keep running with that? But, so I guess first impressions of Kate. What do you guys think?
I love Kate.
You love Kate?
me too.
She is
was
like that
beautiful.
badass, yes, like badass, independent, like person. And so I was like, wow. But I was like, this is such a cliche for how he runs into her.
What do you mean? Isn't it romantic? They're like riding the horses together and
No.
he's trying to save her and she's like, I don't need no saving.
I was just like, first of all, sir, what the frick are you doing out in like nowhere? Just riding your horse. And then of course he coincidentally also runs into Kate, who's riding on her horse, all mysterious with her little cape over
Yeah,
her
her little
head.
hood. And then Anthony's like, stop.
Yeah.
And Kate goes,
Yeah,
oh, trying to catch me.
because he's like, are you okay, miss? Like, do you need help? Bold assumption, first of all, to
Right.
assume that she's a damsel in distress.
No, it's because he's a gentleman.
I am a gentleman.
I am a gentleman.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to speak all in accents.
Oh yeah,
Oh shoot, you're right.
I can't do that. So
I can't either.
But I the reason why she ran away is because she can't get caught without her maid because she's technically unmarried. So
Oh, duh.
Oh, right, yeah.
that's
That
why
makes
she
so much
tried to run away,
sense.
but
Yeah.
he was able to catch up to her, and that's probably like what she liked about him, that he could keep up with her.
Yeah. That makes so much sense because I got confused at that part because like she jumps over the thing and then he catches up to her and she's like, oh, I'm heading like to whatever location, and then two like guys ride on by with their horses and she looks freaked. She's like, oh, I can't get caught. And so I'm kind of like, why is she acting that way? Like, is she on the run from someone? Is she like, I'm like, duh, that's right, they can't be unaccompanied. Yeah. Anyways, first impression, I was like, oh, okay, I can already tell that she's supposed to be like that badass, like I don't follow the rules sort of person. Almost basically Eloise, but just like an older version. I also thought it was so interesting how they say their ages.
oh,
8 and 20.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
I think
What do you
she's 26.
She is,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's 26 in there, yeah.
But I think that in the books, she's actually only 21.
Really?
I was reading some things, and it's like in the books, she's actually 21, but in the show, they made her 26.
Well, I think in general, all of the female characters are younger than they in the books than they are in the show, and all the male characters are older. I think.
Ooh, in the books.
Yeah. So, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love how two IT guys are just on the phones. They're like, oh, we don't care
It's
about
just figured
Bridgerton.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. What did you guys think about Edwina then?
I love her.
I love her too.
She's such a sweetie.
I think she's
Like,
actually
aw.
so pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very pretty too.
I kind of hate how like the queen chose her to be the diamond though.
Oh really?
Oh.
Well, no,
Why?
I like it, but I hate the way that she kind of like went about like picking her.
Oh, is it because she was like, she felt like she had to just choose someone?
No, I kind of because she didn't pick a diamond because she got distracted with Lady Whistledown's thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it was basically just because Lady Danbury was like, "Oh, you didn't pick a diamond, yeah." Like, wouldn't it kind of like be so interesting if you picked her? Cause like she's like new and like blah blah blah, and like it would be perfect, you know. And so I feel like the queen was just like, you know what? Yeah, because if I pick Edwina, then Lady Whistledown, I can also use Edwina to help me figure out who Lady Whistledown is. You know, and so I'm kind of like there was motive behind why she chose her, instead of compared to like season 1, where what's the main girl's name?
Daphne.
Daphne. I was gonna say
Where-
Diane. But
Yeah, I
I
was
was
like, I
like,
know it says something deep. Where Daphne was picked based on like looks and all the criteria that they kind of go through for the
Yeah.
lady, and
Well, I agree with that, but also like I think she did impress the queen because when her first impression, remember, it was like, she was very put together, very like, you know,
cutesy, very.
very demure, very classy.
I love it. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she knew like all the right things to say, like whenever, wherever sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Kate like brought her up and like
Raised
taught
her
her,
and-
raised
yeah,
her all
yeah.
about etiquette
Yeah,
and whatnot. So
yeah.
yeah, but I do think all the, I don't know. I mean, mainly because she has plot armor, but I think she was well deserved to be the diamond
Yeah.
Yes.
of this season. Though.
Yeah, I mean, she played a pretty good diamond too, and it kind of
Mhm.
obviously had to help with the storyline of just Kate and Anthony, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was kind of my first impression. I feel like they really just dragged everything on, but it was good. I think it was kind of like the cliche ending. We already knew it was gonna end like that. Now, some things that I thought was interesting. A couple of things. One, Colin. Colin comes back.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think his like intention was of going back to Miss Thompson? Because he looks for her again. He comes back and he goes, "Oh, like, hey Penelope, like, how's your cousin doing?" Sort of stuff. And then like I don't know if it was Eloise, but one of the Bridgerton siblings, tells him that she actually lives near their like estate or whatever, and so he goes to visit her.
Well, I think Colin actually had feelings for Miss Thompson. So I think that because of the way things did go down, I think he probably went back to like just to check on her, be like, "Hey, like I know things went down kind of bad between us. Like, I just want to come check to you." And Colin is just also very friendly, so he was probably just gonna go like check on her to make sure she's okay. But I don't think there was any intentions there or anything.
I feel like he was trying to do something about it. Like, I feel like he was kind of like, oh, maybe if I come back, like, maybe she did really kind of like me too, and maybe we can kind of build something from there. Because then a lot of a very common theme with, I feel like, the women in Bridgerton was the idea of I'm content. And as long as I'm content, I don't really need anything else. Which I feel like is an interesting mindset. However, given the time and like the year, it makes sense.
I mean, didn't even Miss Thompson was like, "Yeah, like things aren't going great, but like I'm content.
Yep.
You need to move on from me.
Yep.
We both need to move on."
Yeah.
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 So.
And then Kate asks Lady Danbury that too. Because Lady Danbury is like, yeah, you're 26, you know, like, you didn't think about, like, maybe this could be the chance for you to find a husband too or whatever. And she's like, I'm content right now with where I am and I'm going to move back to India. And then she asks Lady Danbury, she's like, aren't you content? Like, you don't have a husband, you don't have a partner or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, Lady Danbury snapped when she gave her response back.
I don't remember the response was.
She was like, "Oh, I have lived a life.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yes.
have lived a life, and I've loved, and I have like lost or whatever."
Yeah.
And she was like I'm content now because I have already lived.
Yes.
Like
Basically
said,
that. Yeah.
Kate, you need to go get your man.
Yeah.
It's like, you're young.
Yeah. Right after she said that, I was like, just because I already assumed, I was like, I'm pretty sure Lady Danbury had a husband.
Mhm.
And then she confirmed it when she goes, I'm a widow. Like, literally because I had a husband. Versus Kate, where it's like, Kate is so, like, against what?
Oh, I'm just excited for you to watch that.
Oh yes. You'll learn more about Lady Danbury.
Yes.
in-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, from just season 2.
Yes.
I'm like, Lady Danbury says all that, and I'm like, yeah, see? And then while Kate, it's like she's never had a partner or like a husband before, so it's like it's hard for her to like try and argue about like just being content. So I was like, you tell him.
Yeah.
But I also hated how Kate took on that kind of role where she was like, I kind of know everything and I taught my sister everything and we don't need anyone else's help. When like Lady Danbury was like, oh, we'll like hire dancers, we'll hire like piano instructors and blah 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 and all of that stuff, and Kate's like, she knows this, she knows that, she knows that, she knows that because I taught her all of this, so I don't really know if she needs all of that, Lady Danbury. And I'm like, I get it, but I was like, that's a little rude.
I don't think she was trying to be like rude or brag about it.
Yeah.
It's more so like it's for her own pride. Like, you think I haven't prepared her enough for the marriage part? No, I have. Like, she knows everything that she needs to know. Like, like there is no need for further instruction because she's good. Like my teachings are good enough for her. You know, something like that.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be kind of jumping around with like the questions and the
Sure.
points that I bring up, so just a heads up about that. And also apologies to the audience because I might like jump ahead to like, oh my god, what about this? And then I jump back in time and I'm like, hold on. Cousin Jack.
Oh,
Do you guys remember
yeah.
Cousin Jack? Yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Featherington.
What do you guys think about Cousin Jack?
He was, I don't know. He
Do you remember?
wasn't needed. Like, he didn't make an impact really
Yeah.
to me. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He was just there for that Featherington plot.
Yeah. It really was just that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that actually in the books, I was reading this again, that somewhere in the books, like that whole Featherington plot that went down, like never happened in the books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they just
So-
added it on in the movie?
I think so. I don't know if you read that.
I haven't.
Are you gonna look it up right now?
I am gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's probably to give more screen time to maybe Penelope.
Maybe. Or maybe just like the Featherington family overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Because they're talking in the beginning about like how there will be like a new Lord Featherington. And I'm like, oh, they're bringing someone else in. And for a second I thought, I was like, oh, did she remarry? But then no, it's just like their cousin is coming in to kind of take that place. I was not expecting him to be broke.
Yeah, he was definitely like putting up a front.
Yes. Yeah. I was not expecting that at all because then Lady Cowper, right? Because they
Yeah.
kind of bring her into the storyline again and she's a little bit more in there again. And I'm questioning too because Lady Featherington is already kind of like, what the heck is going on? Like, why is he like talking to the Cowpers so much? And why does it seem like he's flirting with them? And they all kind of come to that realization of, well, he is a single guy. Maybe he is looking for marriage, you know? And so I was kind of like, that is interesting. Is he doing it just to like marry? But then after everything that happens with is it Prudence?
Prudence.
Yeah.
Prudence. Yep.
And then Cousin Jack's like, I'm broke.
Yeah, it's like
You just fucked yourself up.
I'm trying to marry
Okay,
her
but he
money.
should have told at least the mom, like
Yes.
Lady Featherington.
Yeah. So in the books, Lady Featherington is already a widow at the start of the series.
Oh.
So, but yet in the show, Lord Featherington dies at the end of the first season, making a large part of the plot for season 2 to revolve around Lord Featherington, aka Cousin Jack. And then that's where they like the story writers probably like made a plot around that too, which I think it was pretty like I think it was pretty good because when season 1 ended, he lost his money. The Featheringtons lost all their money basically. So then they had to be like, okay, well, season 2 comes, we need to introduce somebody to like, you know, get all that money back.
Yeah, I think he was a plot device for sure.
Yeah.
Like he was just used so that they could find a way to get rich again.
Yeah, because clearly at the end, Lady Featherington throws him under the bus.
Yes.
And be like, I'm gonna take a large sum of that money, and you can go back to the Americas.
Yeah.
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 So.
After that, I was like, oh, I guess Cousin Jack really was just to fill in that space just for all of season 2 to keep the Featheringtons going for like the rest of the seasons that they kind of create. But yeah, I thought Cousin Jack was interesting. But also, I'm kind of like, one, like Nancy said, I'm like, Cousin Jack, get it freaking together. Why didn't you let the mom know what was going on? Because she's pretty conniving herself. And so I'm like, dude, she would have totally been able to help you.
And also the fact that Cousin Jack started to be like, oh yeah, Lady Featherington, we
Dude,
could do
I know.
something.
He's over here like,
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is your brother's wife.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Something like that?
I think cousin.
I think cousin.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah, but it's just like, that's kind of weird.
Either way, yeah. That's
Either way,
weird.
it's kind of weird.
I also thought that was weird. Like, he tried to flirt with her at first and like,
Dude,
Well,
but
but
she played him.
she did.
She played him good.
She was. I think she was.
but
Into
I think
it.
she was
into
into
it,
it.
Oh,
but
really?
also
Yeah.
she had to like put her family first.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
"You're cute, but no."
Yeah, because
Yeah.
even at the end there, when she throws him under the bus, she's like, you don't care about my girls.
Nope.
And I
Well,
care.
yeah, he
I
said
care
that he
for
was
them.
going to send them off or something, right?
Yeah,
No,
so
he was
like,
gonna take all of them with him. Yeah, to like, not even. Is it? It was to America, right?
yeah, to America.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's gonna take him and Lady Featherington first, and then Lady
Oh,
Featherington
yes.
was like, well, what about the girls?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, oh, we'll send for them later.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you're gonna leave the girls here to take all the downfall, and then like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was a nobody.
He really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I also think that because Lady Featherington hates the Cowpers, I don't think she wanted them to marry into the family.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think if he probably would have just gotten some other like rich girl, they probably would have been like fine.
Well, that's why she
Well-
was so like, okay, I'm gonna have my own daughter
Yeah.
marry the Lord of Featherington then,
Yeah.
and that obviously didn't work.
Yeah, no, but she didn't know about the money
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I think she also, even if they were rich and they were fine, she wouldn't have wanted the Cowpers to marry in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's
she's like,
true.
I need the lady of the house to be malleable. Like, I need them to be where I can
that's
manipulate
true.
them
That's
Yeah.
true.
and do whatever
yeah.
I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she picked her own daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But then it backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a quick shout out for the freaking maid. This
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the second time that the maid has forged a signature
I know.
so convincingly.
That's
like-
crazy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna just continue. Like the pattern is gonna kind of
Honestly,
keep up.
she's a real one.
She is. Like, as when you continue to watch the third season, like
Uh-huh.
she's a real
She's a
one.
real one.
She
Really?
is.
Yeah.
She keep her lip tight.
Yep.
I
So-
think that's so funny, especially because like Lady Featherington doesn't even treat her like the best. Like she treats her
I
kindly.
think she treats her as like a
treats her-
friend.
yeah.
But it's like, it's still very much, you're my worker. You're my
Yeah,
servant.
yeah, that's so funny. I'm about to look out for her then.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that backfired, and then all that stuff happened with the jewelry, and I really thought Colin was gonna invest. Oh my gosh. 'Cause-
Were you mad? Were you screaming at the screen? Why would you do
Dude,
that?
yes, because it was the scene where they're in Mondritz's
Mondrich.
I don't know. I don't remember what it's called.
Mondrich, his bar,
Yeah.
basically, yeah. And Colin's like, oh, I'm interested in investing, blah blah blah. And cousin Jack's like, yeah, let me tell you. And Mr. Mondrich comes up and he's like, this guy's a liar. He's like a fake, and he's gonna like basically take all your money.
Yeah.
And Colin like stands up and he's like, don't you dare like what do you call it, like
Tarnish the name
Tarnish,
of the feather,
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Featherington.
he's like, don't tarnish their name and blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting here like, are you serious? Are you serious?
Colin?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is what Anthony was talking about, because then Anthony goes like, Colin, I saw you took out a large sum of money. Like, what's that for? You know, and he's also like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, none of you know, like, pay attention to the money. None of you, blah, blah, blah. And so then, like, when Colin was like, don't tarnish their names. I want to still, blah, blah, blah. I was like, are you freaking serious? This is what Anthony's talking about. He said that y'all don't know how to, like, do this stuff, whatever. But then it comes back, and he's able to kind of, like, take off Lady Cowper, like, her necklace. He's like, hey, let me
Yeah,
get
it's
it
like,
fixed
oh,
for
your
you.
latch is broken.
Yeah.
Which that was pretty smooth, honestly.
pretty
like how
smooth.
like
Yeah.
dang, how did you unlatch a necklace like that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, that's pretty smooth. And he breaks and he's like, that's a fight. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what do you know all along?
You know? Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, and then he goes back to Mr. Mondrich and he's like, sorry, like I had to do that to gain Cousin Jack's trust, basically, so that he wouldn't be like suspicious of any of that. And I'm like, you know what? Colin is a lot smarter than I kind of like take him for. So I was like, wow.
That's the smartest thing he's gonna do.
Oh, damn it, Colin.
Let's get it. You watch it on your own.
Well, because like, even at the end of the episode, Colin was talking to his boys, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like so are you courting the Featherington girl?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "I would never
Yeah.
court
Never
Penelope Featherington." And it was like,
But I feel like guys always say that. Like, I feel like the guys, they're always like, no, whenever, like, they're guys.
well, also I think that it's because Colin doesn't see Penelope that way yet.
Yeah,
You know,
still,
not
yeah.
yet, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think, yeah, in the way that he came across with it was like very like, no,
Yeah.
never.
People
But
are-
also it's like, oh, like no, I don't see her that way.
Yeah.
She's a childhood friend of mine, you know.
Yeah,
So-
people also said that the way he said that, oh, I would never court Penelope Featherington, is more so because he didn't think he was worthy of even thinking of courting her. So they're saying that
Oh.
he wasn't insulting her; he was insulting himself.
I mean, that would make sense.
Oh.
That would make sense for, yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that.
But that's the point. They're trying to like
Oh.
they're trying to say make it seem like he was insulting her. But if you look at it again from a different perspective, it's like, oh, he was not insulting her.
Yeah, he was just with his bros.
No. Yeah, that's interesting. And it's the newest season that kind of
Season 3, yeah.
that focuses on them. That'll be interesting. I'll have to finish all the other.
They watch it in order.
Yeah, watch it in order.
Yeah. I was like, I have to finish the other ones
Because
first.
season 3
before
had
I
a
can-
lot of references from the spin-offs. So
Spin-offs. That's what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another question that I had for you guys. What did you think about Eloise sneaking around?
I was gonna ask you that too. Like, if you weren't gonna touch on this, I was gonna ask you about that too.
Yeah, she sneaks around. First of all, her first intention was really just to find Lady Featherington, but then she
Lady
meets.
whistle.
Look,
Whistle down.
She knows Lady Featherington.
Lady Whistle Down. And then she meets Theo.
Theo Shop. Wait.
I don't know his last name.
Nope, not Sharp. 'Cause-
Theo.
Oh, is it Sharp? I don't know, but Theo, right?
Theo.
something.
Yeah.
Theo.
I was really hoping that there could have been, you know, she's like, oh yeah, like getting very political,
Yeah.
women's right, great. And then I was like, wow, like maybe this is. It felt like with her character, it felt like they were gonna have like a queer story for her,
Oh.
and then Theo shows up, and I was like, oh, which is great too, because
Yeah.
he's also very, oh yeah, like woman movement, like woman
Yeah.
power. So, but then that happened, so that kind of threw everything out the window. But yeah, Eloise going through his whole thing. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it didn't really matter to me personally. So, but maybe
Yeah.
this is your third time watching it, so maybe you
Yeah, I was like, Nancy?
put some insight on this.
Well, yeah, I think that whole thing was to kind of the whole like situation with Eloise it was just to showcase that she's not ready for like the world failed
Yeah.
/ changed because
I agree.
Oh, wait,
I
yeah.
agree.
she did it in a very immature way,
She did.
and her motivations were wrong because
Yeah.
because she, like you said, she went in looking for Lady Whistledown, and then she immediately was like, oh yeah, actually, the guy, he was like, you don't know anything about like social justice,
Yeah.
or you don't know anything about
Yeah.
politics or anything. You do, all you do is read and you never do anything about it. And so she runs away and she attends like a speech
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's great, but you only did that because someone called you out on it.
Yup.
And then the rest of the series, or not the series, the season, she doesn't do anything with that.
Yeah.
She just kind of just sneaks off and like hangs out with him because she likes him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she never does anything with that like newfound knowledge. And then when he confronts her about it, like, yo, you're always here and you're always acting like you're doing stuff, but then you go home to your like mansion and
Yeah.
your happy family and your money. Like,
Yeah. Because even at the end, like when Eloise finds out that Penelope is Lady
You jumped too
Whistledown.
far ahead.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
just kidding.
Well, I'm just saying like that
Yeah.
part where like they argue and then
Yes.
Penelope is like, well, at least I did something, and
Yeah.
you always talk big, but you never do anything about
Yeah.
it. And it was like, oh.
I was like, damn, that was on facts.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's why she was also like confused why Theo wouldn't see her anymore, and he was like, "Yo, I can't get caught. Like,
Yeah.
like I can't get
I have
caught being
so much
Lady
more on the
Whistledown.
line than you do.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
get caught colluding with Lady Whistledown because of you. Like,
Yeah.
like you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was kind of like, oh, I totally kind of saw that coming when they had her like, excuse me, like a like quote unquote commoner. I was like, oh, I kind of saw that coming, just because of how much she just hates balls and hates everything related to like being royalty and like all of that stuff.
But
And
she's
like,
not royalty.
not royalty,
She's,
but like being
Noble.
noble. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, because she expresses it so much how she doesn't want to like go do that stuff. She doesn't want to like meet a guy and like all that stuff. So then when she meets Theo, she's like, oh, this guy kind of.
That's why I was like, so are they gonna make her into like a queer story where she like doesn't, like go like fight against the norms and stuff like that, and then a boy comes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I kind of saw that come in. So I was like, oh, not surprised, but yeah, she really is all talk. Like, I'm like, ugh, Eloise. I feel like your character hasn't developed at all because it's still the same shit basically from season 1.
Yeah.
Except in this season, we kind of want to focus on her because her mom's trying to get her out there. Her mom's trying to prepare her for like marriage life, for being a wife. But I think it really just comes down to kind of what Nancy said of it showed how like she wasn't ready at all for kind of like any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, her character has potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, fans want her to this is not spoilers because we don't know what's gonna happen, but
Okay.
they want her, Ellie's character, to enter into a lavender marriage, which is she marries a man but she has relationships with women.
Oh.
Because they showed a lavender marriage in the first season with the painter guy.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
So there's that storyline because people were saying like, oh, like like she doesn't seem like she would want to be married. Yeah.
Aw, you woke him up.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
in the
yeah.
book, which is spoiler but not spoiler because we don't know how they're gonna change it. In the book, she marries Philip Crane, which is
Oh.
Miss Thompson's husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she passes
What?
away. She passes away,
Yeah.
and then
Spoilers.
yeah, but then the issue is that they didn't even do that in the second season. So so we don't know if they're gonna keep that or
Holy
if
frick.
they're gonna change it or
Yeah.
anything, because he wasn't even in this last season. So we don't know if they're gonna keep that or not. So they want Eloise to marry him, but then have like a lavender marriage with someone else.
That's
Fans want Cressida.
Who's that?
Cowper.
Prudence?
Cowper.
Wait, was it Prudence?
Cooper?
No.
No?
Oh,
wait, Prudence
they
is
want
the
her to
daughter.
have a.
Oops, sorry.
They want her to have a lavender relationship, whatever, with Cressida.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What? I don't know if I can see that. That's crazy.
But
that would
yeah.
be wild if it happened.
It's because in season 3 you learn a little more about Cressida, and she also doesn't want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
So people are saying, well,
that would make sense then.
yeah, but we don't know. That's just speculation. That's fan
Yep.
theories.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's still potential for that. But
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's still season 4 coming out.
yeah,
So
That's crazy.
and they also haven't announced who Eloise's love interest is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I did see the actress that they hired for.
yeah, she's Asian.
Yeah, she's Asian. So
Really?
Next season is Benedict's season.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they hired
Oh my
they
gosh,
casted
that's
a Asian,
exciting.
a Korean American.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that. How do you feel about them bringing in a
Woman of color.
Yeah, woman
Yeah.
woman of color.
I love it. I was
Yeah.
not expecting it. I didn't know if they were gonna like bring in just a no offense, no hate.
Another white person.
Another white person. I had to throw that out there for our audience real quick. I was like, hold up. Don't come at me.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. But I really thought they were just gonna throw in another like white person and be like, oh, we're just gonna have Anthony like fall in love with a white person, and whatever. That'll be kind of like that noble marriage and stuff like that. And so then when I saw Kate, I was like, oh, a woman of color. I was not expecting this. So that was pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now that I think about it, and after you guys told me about like how Benedict, his love interest is like an Asian person, I'm like, oh yeah, and then Daphne's, her love interest was also a man of color. You know, so I'm like, oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah. So in the books, the Sharmas were actually supposed to be white with blonde hair,
Oh.
but then the creators they like changed it because they want to like show more representation.
Uh-huh.
And so
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They picked good actresses too, I feel like, to
I
represent
think
both
so too.
Sharmas.
Kate and
Edwina.
Edwina, so
Amazing.
good. And
Perfect.
they even showed like a right before Edwina was supposed to get married, they had like that tradition
The Indian.
Indian thing too.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
like
that is
that.
so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also really love the wardrobe, like
Yes.
for them, because it added a
Yes.
little bit of like the traditional Indian garments.
Yep. Yep. I
Yep.
loved that.
And I think I was reading like if you look closer at their garments that they were wearing, there was actually a lot of Indian like inspired
Really?
designs. They were using a lot of
Wow.
gold, like gold linings, and using like silk for some of their like their outfits. I was like, wow, costume
That's pretty
designer,
cool.
good job. Like,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Now, Chewy, I'm gonna kind of jump ahead because Chewy already brought it up, and it's just related to like Eloise and stuff. But what do you guys think about like the argument that she has with Penelope after
Oh,
finding
yes.
out Penelope is Lady Whistledown?
Well, I first thought that, oh man, I kind of thinking back now, like I really wish they wouldn't have showed who Lady Whistledown was.
Oh, from the start.
Yeah, and then boom at the end. Oh my gosh, it was Penelope.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
In the books, they don't reveal it until it's Penelope's book,
Oh, really?
because it follows. Because in the books, they follow. It was actually Anthony first, I think, because they follow by.
Oh,
title.
yeah.
And so Penelope, I don't know when her book was, but it was with Colin, so it was the third book maybe, right?
Fourth or
ABC.
third.
Yeah, Colin.
You said ABC.
Yeah, and no, because that's how they named it. A B C D
Oh,
E F G.
duh.
So
Oh my
Anthony,
God.
Benedict, Colin, Daphne. Yeah, it's
Eloise.
Eloise.
Whoa, I'm mind
Really?
blown.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
did
I
you
was
know
like,
that?
why?
Oh.
What do you mean by ABC? And I was like, who's the B? I know Anthony. And I was like, oh, Benedict.
that's
That's,
why
right.
when the Duke and Daphne have their kid, they asked them, "Oh, what's his name?" And they said, "Oh, maybe he should start something with A."
Oh,
Because of his first kid, and then they're following
Wow.
tradition.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Anyways, yes. So it wasn't revealed until the third season. So technically, yeah, it would be the third season that
Yeah.
she should have been revealed, but they revealed at the end of the first season. So
I didn't like that either. I was like, bro, keep us guessing. Hello, you guys are coming out with
Yeah.
more seasons.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I think that last scene between those two was really good. With
Like the argument.
The
Oh, the
argument.
argument,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It was like very like you where what lady was down this whole time, and then she like goes into like the way that you spoke, like the way that, because like right at the end, right when Eloise finds out or has a hint, I was like,
And
she
then
like
I know, I was
left
like,
over.
she goes and trashes her room.
Yes. I was like, oh,
What if she wasn't?
Yeah.
What if she wasn't Lady who
Yeah.
whistled down? Dang.
But I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. Lady Whistledown did write bad about her. It kind of like destroyed her image.
But not on
Because
purpose.
she had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Because the queen was gonna go get Eloise because she thought it was her.
What did you think that? Because Eloise is like, well, you did it for yourself. Do you think that Lady Whistledown really did it for herself, or
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so?
Yeah. Because, yeah, Eloise said that. She goes, no, you did it for yourself because you're still trying to protect yourself, whatever, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't think so. Because when Penelope is talking to who's the person that makes the outfits and stuff with her? It starts with M.
Madame Delacroix.
Yes. Yes.
When Penelope is talking to her, Madame Delacroix, she's like, a woman like will never wear like something ugly or whatever, you know. So you have to go and you have to write something about Eloise that she would never write if she was Lady Whistledown. And Penelope is like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that to my best friend, you know. And she literally was not gonna do it until she had that interaction with Eloise, where Eloise is all like, I saw Theo, and we're gonna like do all this, and I don't care anymore, and blah blah blah, you know. And that's when Penelope was kind of like, oh, well, if that's how you feel, then I'm gonna go and write this then, sort of thing.
It's also because she had to scare Eloise away from crying.
Yeah,
to keep,
track her down, and
yeah. And yeah, once again, that bringing back to that whole Eloise argument, it's also showing that she doesn't understand her privilege because what you're saying, Penelope was like, I can't be a pretty Bridgerton girl. I can't not get married because I have to. Like, I have to. I don't have the privilege of being a what do you call it?
Coming from like a rich family.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. And also, she just wants to get married. Like,
Yeah.
You can also just want to get married.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she doesn't have that privilege like Eloise does, where she has money, she has a lot of family, so she doesn't, she isn't required to get married because there's always gonna be like someone else to get married.
Sorry, could we pause quick?
Anyways.
Anyways, yeah, Nancy, but what were you saying about like Eloise and Penelope's fight? Because I know we were kind of talking about how it really does show that Eloise isn't really like mature enough for that, but
yeah, because Penelope was spitting straight facts.
She was
like, if I would have told you, you would have taken over, and you would have.
Yeah, that's right.
You you write, or you're just mad that I wrote, like I did something by myself and that it's mine, and you just don't understand because you're all talk and you're just gonna run away to your happy family and blah blah.
Yeah. Because that's what her goal was. Eloise's goal was to find Lady
Whistledown
and be like, oh my gosh, can you write about this? Like, you should write about women's rights.
Because even when she's just talking to Penelope, she's like, Lady Whistledown needs to do this. Lady Whistledown needs to do that.
She's like, you're wasting your time with all this gossip. And then Penelope's like,
Yeah. And then at the end, when Penelope spits out them straight facts, Eloise didn't even know what to say afterwards. That's why she just goes, I wish never to see you again. I was like,
she was so stuck on the betrayal. I'm like, girl, you knew damn well you were already telling her what you were gonna do.
I really wish that at the end there, Penelope was like telling her like, I wish Penelope would have said, you are just as much of a wallflower as I am.
Yeah, like, because then she was all like, what does that make you? You know, because Eloise is like, you're just like an insipid wallflower or something like that. Yeah.
So I wish that Penelope would have called her a wallflower too. Because
I agree. I was kind of like looking for it, but then Penelope didn't. But she did still say like, what about you? You're all talk.
She could have been like, I may be a wallflower, but it's you're worse because you don't know you're a wallflower.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just be like, like we're both the same. But
at least I know what I am.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Ooh, that would have been so good. That would have been so good.
But yeah. So when Eloise says that, I was like, ugh. I already knew that the moment Eloise finds out, it's gonna ruin the friendship. But first of all, same thing as Nancy said, you did not have to go up in there and destroy her room.
Yeah, she would.
She tore up the
Mm-hmm.
closets, tore up the bed. I was like, dang. Yeah, so she finds out, and I'm like, she finds out pretty fast, actually, I feel like. But they did have Penelope basically give herself away when she's like standing in the area. And Eloise comes up, and Penelope's like, oh yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're not gonna look for a lady with sit down anymore, blah blah whatever. And then she goes, oh, I heard that Lord Fife something and like look over there, his wife is blah blah. And then that's when Eloise was like,
That's when Ellie was like,
you have, that was a keen observation
Actually.
or whatever, you know. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was
It's so
like,
funny.
oh, I already know where this is going. But yeah, that was crazy. I feel like Eloise, of course, has a right to be mad because Penelope freaking wrote that about her, basically exposed her to the ton.
Yes.
A ton. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, you gotta understand kind of like where Penelope is coming from, especially because Penelope knows she's Lady Whistledown. Eloise told her, like, the queen is after me, basically, and after my family if I don't become her ally, you know? And so I'm like, that's why I'm like, Penelope did it sort of out of, like, the kindness of her heart of, she's like, this is my best friend. I
Yeah,
have to
like-
do something to save her and her family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then when Eloise reacts that way, I'm like, I get it. I'd be mad too, but I was like, I feel like you're a little too mad, a little dramatic with it.
Yeah, she can be hurt, but like you can't be mad at her.
Yeah. I'm gonna shift it again now and talk about now shifting it to Anthony and Edwina. So, let me see. I guess really just the relationship with Anthony and Edwina, like him kind of deciding like that's the diamond. I'm gonna go after her and I'm gonna marry her. Like, what did you guys kind of think about his mindset with that? I could see it.
I thought that it was. I think it could have been cute. I think it was fine, but I think it was just like the way that Anthony approached this whole thing
Yeah.
of like duty, duty, duty.
Ugh.
You know,
And
That
that was the whole theme of
Yeah.
the season though, because
Yeah.
both him and Kate
And
are
Kate,
all
yeah.
about duty, my
Yep.
duty.
Yep.
Yep. So I think that. What was the question?
Him and
About
Edwina.
like, yeah, just their relationship and like how it kind of started, or like just the dynamic with it.
Yeah, I thought it was cute, but but like as soon as Kate and Anthony started bantering each other, I'm like, I like that better. I like that better.
Because
Yeah.
it makes sense that he would go for Edwina just because he himself was like, whatever the queen names a diamond,
Yeah.
I'll just marry her because I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
clearly, if the queen approves of her, then she must be the best
Yeah.
of the best.
Yeah, he was kind of like, she's the most suitable to be the like viscountess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she
Yeah.
was very proper.
was.
She was very.
She would have been
She
a
was
good
But
viscountess.
really good.
that's the thing,
honestly.
though, is that I don't remember who said it. I don't remember if it was Kate or if it was Daphne or if it was like Anthony. But someone had said that she basically like knows what to say and what to do in those specific situations.
Mhm.
And so then we kind of like find out later on that Edwina, she's like, I can make my own decisions. Like, I have my own mind.
Yeah.
Even though I know what to do in these interactions, in these situations, I also still have my own mind.
Mhm.
And then also like my own idea of what I want to do or how I want to go about this sort of stuff. What about when it's so clearly obvious, even for Daphne, so clearly obvious that Anthony and Kate have a thing. And so then he has a conversation with Daphne because Daphne's like, are you sure you want to marry her? Are you sure? Blah, 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 whatever. And like he's like describing all of these things. And she goes, oh yeah, basically like that's love then. And then Anthony goes, I know what I have to do. And then he proposes
Yeah.
to Adrian.
Now this was right after they were caught in that closet, right?
No, this
No.
was when this after they get caught in the study with Daphne catches them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, closet. I don't think they were ever.
Closet is
The
in the
study.
wedding,
Yeah.
right?
It was.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
but
so
they
this
didn't
is-
get caught.
They didn't get caught. No.
Yeah, this is the part where Daphne walks in them, where they're both going like,
Yeah. Yeah, they're heavy
Like-
breathing next to each other.
I freaking hate
Just
the breathing
breathing
that they
into
do.
It's
Anytime
so
they get
funny.
scared, anytime they get really nervous.
yeah, They're like breathing into each other, like, bro.
It's so freaking annoying.
Just wait until season 3 because in that one, because Penelope, she's a big chested girl.
Yeah, she
so
is.
when
She
they
is.
do that, she's like,
Yeah. Like,
Body rolling with it.
yes. Dude. Oh, I know. And we were talking about this last night too.
Yes.
So that was just
My pet
hilarious.
peeve. Like anytime I was watching it, like when Penelope was like running around to make sure that she was gonna get a call as Lady Wisdom, she's over like. And I was like, "Oh, calm down now, calm down."
It's like your corset's gonna burst
yeah,
open.
I don't know how it is with wearing corsets, but if you're like running through that, you can't expand your lungs, so you're like kind of have to breathe really
That's
heavy.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
It might just be all that, but
Yeah. It's just funny though. It's just like
so funny.
maybe they should make that a little bit less tighter. Like
Yes.
loosen it up a little bit so the actresses can breathe.
But yeah.
Well, sorry, going off of that,
yeah.
I actually saw that like Kate's actress,
Yeah.
sorry, she was actually complaining that like their corset was very tight,
Really?
and that like they were saying that like it didn't fit her, that it actually like kind of cut her shoulder blade a little bit too.
Really?
And I was like, oh. And then I think also Lady Featherington's actress also complained about it.
Oh.
So.
Ooh, so here I am making fun of them. It really could be that they struggle to breathe.
I'm sure they were instructed to.
Yeah.
act like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They were like, director's like, no, give me more.
Give me more
Give
passion.
me more. More passion.
Energy, passion.
I regret saying that.
That's funny. I could see that.
What was the question?
About how after Daphne's like, that's love.
Oh,
And
yes.
so that he goes and proposes to Edwina
Okay,
instead of Kate.
But
What do y'all think?
this is after you learn that the whole like his dad died.
Yes, okay.
Violet Bridgerton, his mom.
You're right. Let's take
like-
it back a notch and go to that
Right.
because I did want to bring that
Yeah.
up too.
So because he saw what she went through, because she loved her husband
Yeah.
so much, she literally was like depressed. She was like,
She couldn't do
she
anything.
couldn't do anything. She
yeah.
shut down. She couldn't be the mother
Yeah.
to her child. She couldn't be a mother to like the older kids either.
Yeah.
So he saw that and he was like, I never want
I
to
never want to. Yeah.
I never want to love someone so deeply that I will break if they pass.
Their heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
He
did
didn't want to
mention that.
cause the same heartache that his mom
Yeah.
experienced. Yeah,
But-
to his
yeah.
partner. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, like that was a tough time.
It was.
He's freaking coming back from like hunting with his dad. Dad gets stung by a bee and dies.
Yeah.
First of all, I was like, that's it. That's how he fucking dies.
If you have a severe allergy,
But I was
guys, they don't got no EpiPen.
I was gonna say,
okay?
don't have it
I know,
depends out there.
But I was like, obviously, we can assume he's allergic to bees.
Yeah.
So that's how I was like, But then, like, Anthony later makes a point too. He goes, like, to see such a strong man, like, be taken down by something that little. You know, I was like, that's a good, like, kind of metaphor, like, or,
Yeah, it's
the
a-
way to, like, look
It's
about
a
it.
metaphor for
Yeah.
love. I
Yes,
think.
yeah. Yeah, and so after finding all of that out, I was like, damn. We're over here, like, Anthony himself says that he's like, if people have to view me as a cruel person, let them do it, but I just never want to fall in love and, like, marry for love because I want to avoid what happened when his dad died.
Yeah. Nancy actually pointed out to me, but like, that's why in the intro, and it's in the intro, right? Yeah, in the intro, there's a bee. Flies around. So there's a lot of bees that are like
Oh.
sometimes
Yeah.
be emphasized throughout the that
There
season.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're spiritual, you're like, that's the dad watching over them.
Yeah, that was sad.
Well, it's funny. I think there was actually a post saying that like between Kate and Anthony, the bee and Kate's what do you call it? Her bracelet.
Oh, uh-huh.
They're like, man, the parents in the afterlife have to do something to make these two fall in love with each other.
yeah.
Jesus.
It was the garden. The dad was like, "Get over there, girl.
Yeah.
Get over there." And then so he makes the bee land on Kate. And then in the wedding part, Kate's ancestors were like,
Yep.
"Yeah, get that, get
Yeah,
that bracelet
the
off."
bracelet like falls off, and that's when they're
That's
like,
so funny.
"Oh my gosh, they're working overtime."
That's That's so funny.
They're like,
Yeah.
how many more signs?
I know, I
Yeah.
know. They're like, we see the sexual tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that was good.
And so then when Anthony is like, I know what to do, and he makes that decision, I already knew. When he was like, oh, what I'm feeling is love, all right, I know what to do, then I was like,
Yeah.
Yup.
fuck, he's gonna go and he's gonna marry Edwina anyways because he doesn't want to marry for love. He doesn't ever want to cause the same heartache, doesn't ever want to have to kind of like have that situation ever happen to him. And so then I was like, oh, I already know he's gonna do
Yup.
it.
And then you realize it's only episode 4. It's like, oh,
Actually, it's episode 2.
was it episode? Wait,
No,
was
no.
it? I was like, I forgot what episode that was, but I know it was pretty early on though.
Yeah.
You know, the whole season is just both of them self-sabotaging.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes. I was like, oh,
They're like, we're so close to happiness. No.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. But
Yeah.
what did you think about the beasting part?
I was like, that was
The heavy breathing. In the car.
More heavy
Literally,
breathing.
I saw that, yeah, because she gets stung like right here. And he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And like he
Yeah.
goes up to her and like, let's say that the microphone is her and I'm Anthony, right? He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, back the fuck up, first of all.
Wait, actually, you are kind of cutting out from the side of the.
Oh, I'm cutting out. Sorry.
Scoot
But
over a
yes,
little bit.
like I'm like he's over here. Let me do the phone. Let me do the phone so y'all can hear me on the mic, right? So he's over here like she gets stung. My phone is Kate, right? So she gets stung. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like,
That's the one thing I love.
And
It.
Kate's
It's
over here like-
hilarious. Yeah, yeah.
okay, you're look. I'm like, girl. That part was so cringe for me.
It was really cringe.
Okay, but he's having a panic attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just got stung, so she's
I get
confused.
it.
Or she, you know,
Yeah.
it hurts, and she's
Yeah.
also confused. She's
Yeah,
like,
she's
what's
like,
going
dude, it's
on?
just
Like,
a bee.
Yeah, she
why are
she
you
didn't
panicking?
understand why he's panicking.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yes.
she learned later on that's like,
Yeah.
his dad died from a bee sting.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really sweet though because she was like, no, like here, like I'm fine. Like she
Yeah.
puts
Yeah.
her, she tries to calm him down by putting her
His
hand
on her
chest.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, like I'm fine. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. Blah blah blah. But did you know?
Uh,
I think you pointed out to me too
Mm-hmm.
that never happened in the books.
in the book? Oh.
It did happen. The bee sting did happen, but in the book, when she gets stung, Anthony like forgets like all like formalities and just goes and like sucks out the toxin
Really?
from her boob, like, and then like the mom, that Lady Danbury, and whoever else,
They all witness it?
they all see that and they're like, oh,
Oh yeah. So originally in the books, Anthony and Kate get like forced married
Oh.
because of like the
the bee
they got
sting
caught.
incident?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got caught. Yeah.
But they changed it probably because the first one was already like the first season already.
Oh,
has
already
that.
had that?
So
Yeah.
that's probably why they changed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is great.
Me too.
I
Me
loved
too.
it. I
Because
loved-
if
I
they
loved
had
the
to
change.
like get forced married right there, I'd be like, really?
Yeah. It's like, oh, season 1 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they needed that because they needed to like accept that they were both in love because
Yes.
if they
Yeah.
would have just gotten
Yes.
forced, then they'd be like fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they needed to come to terms with themselves. Like,
Yeah.
we are in love and we want to be together.
Mhm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I thought it was so cringe. I was like, ugh. yeah.
Oh, man, that's
And they're
the one
so
thing.
close to each other. I'm like, ugh. If that ever happened to me, you guys ever seen those TikToks where they read like smut books and then they're like, but if this were to happen in real life, sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, that was me, bro. Like,
I own you. Ugh.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
man.
you know. I
Yeah.
feel like this was like the same shit. Like I'm like, if because I'm dating IT guy number 2, I
Yeah.
don't know, IT guy number 2. If he ever did this shit to me in real life, I'd be like, damn, bro, I'm good. You know,
But like, I burn for you. No, you don't.
I'm for you.
Well, extinguish it.
yeah,
No.
like damn, I didn't mess with that.
Is this the second season? Is this
The
the one with
second
the
season is the
garden?
No, that's
No?
the third one.
Oh,
that's
that's-
that's the spinoff.
Oh, is it the spinoff? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So, yeah.
Never mind.
And then-
We'll get there when
Yeah.
we get
Yeah.
How did you like the scene where basically the love declaration scene, right? Because the season 1 is I burn for you, and then the second season is Anthony like, you will never go far enough away from me.
Oh,
yeah,
Something,
that
something. And he's
part.
like, I'm going back to India. Like,
She's
that's
like-
not far enough. Or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
you know.
Man.
I don't know. I guess it was. I don't know. I didn't. I noticed that because he's like, no matter where you go, like I'm still gonna have these feelings for you, and even if you go anywhere, or whatever. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute because that really shows like that he's accepting his feelings, and that he's kind of like doesn't matter. Like I can marry your sister, and I can still do all of these things under sort of that like obligation. But I will always think of you, and I will always do this, and it's always just gonna all lead back to you. And I was like, then fucking do something about it.
Yeah.
No, but because that was
But-
him confessing his feelings.
Yeah.
And he was putting the ball in her court. You remember? Because he was like,
yeah, that's right.
if you want me to marry her, I will marry her. And then she was like, do it.
yeah.
So technically it was like her fault because she could
Yeah.
have been like, yeah, marry me instead. But no,
Yeah.
she was like,
But
do
we
it.
already know she's like so
I know.
stubborn and like
Yeah.
hard-headed.
Well, she says that because Edwina like loves him.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
That was
why.
right.
I felt so
That was right
bad.
after Edwina's like, I love him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was like, fuck.
She
Yeah.
genuinely loved him. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Edwina.
So
Yeah. So then, the wedding scene when Edwina it finally clicks for her that she's like, oh my god, the way that Anthony is looking at my fucking sister, he's never looked at me like that, you know. And so then she like runs away, and then she yells at both of them. I was like,
good.
go off, girl.
Yeah.
Go off.
Good.
You deserve it. Go on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was literally so pissed too. Because I'm like, first of all, Anthony, now you're just basically leading her on. But also, Kate, get it together. Because this is your sister and you're trying to get her married to. Well, first of all, Kate didn't even want Edwina to marry, or even talk to Anthony. But like, she couldn't do anything about it. So now I'm like, they're over here like sneakily looking at each other and having these
Yeah.
interactions and like all that stuff, whatever. And I'm like, your sister. Remember that.
Yep. Dude, the entire time we were watching the season together, every time Anthony be staring at Kate.
Yes.
Nancy goes, stop staring at her. Stop staring at her.
Yes, yeah. I'm
Every
like,
time
look
he's
at
like,
Edwina.
It's like a lingering touch. It's like, I was like, get away from her.
Yeah,
Get
it's
away from her.
hilarious. It was so
Don't
funny.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why are you denying your feelings, but then you go and do all this crap with Kate?
Yep.
You're over here like, I hate you blah blah blah. But look at my eyes and let me touch you and let me,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Dude, the one scene that I die at every time is when it was like right after they break up, right? Or
Uh-huh.
him and Edwina
Oh,
break up,
uh-huh.
and then they're going to promenade and they're going to pretend like they're okay, like they broke up mutually.
Mhm.
And so she like Kate walks past him and he goes,
dude, yes, he fucking
Wait,
sniffs.
what? Oh my goodness.
Yes, and Lady Danbury see. Yeah,
Wait, really? Oh,
Yes,
I have to
dude.
rewatch that part again.
I
What
remember
the
it's
heck?
like
yeah, she's like,
she's like, hold that shit in, sir. Not right now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
you're whipped. You are.
I saw that scene. I was like, no way they put
I
this in
fucking
there.
die every time. He's like,
So funny. I was like,
Wow.
that's weird. If I
Wow.
saw that in real life, that's weird.
I know that I would cringe if I saw that in real life.
So funny. But yeah,
Yeesh.
so all of that crap happened. That was wild.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whatever, like, however Edwina treated both of them afterwards, I was like, as she should.
Deserved.
Yep.
Because y'all both basically betrayed her.
Yep.
Like, y'all out here doing this crap behind her back, essentially. Not that they were doing it on purpose, but still kind of like behind her back and having these like intimate moments for the most part, I feel like. Knowing that he is trying to marry her, and then even at that point, like, he's engaged to her. You know, they're still kind of having those interactions.
Yeah.
And so then when she finds out and she like starts being petty basically and making those sly little comments, like when
Good. Yeah.
like when she lied
for
about
it.
something and like Kate had said something about it, and she goes, maybe I learned how to be such a good liar from you and Lord Bridgerton. I was like, oh, yeah, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think her feelings are valid though.
yeah.
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 It's like she was telling her, I think something about like, you know, you keep telling me to follow my heart, but you can't even follow your own heart or something like that. I was like,
Yeah. And then, of course, freaking Kate gets a concussion, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Knocks the hell out.
Yeah, for a week, I think it was, or
I
something like
don't
that.
remember.
I don't remember.
I think it was a long time though. Yeah.
I was like, ugh. This is like typical of like she's running away because she doesn't want to deal with this stuff, and then that happens, and I was like, this is so dramatic.
But this was right after the wedding, right? This
Yeah.
was right after the wedding, and then they start making out in the wedding hall after, and then they like have they have that like sex scene,
Yes, yeah. They had
and then the
sex
next
together.
day she's like gone. Like that
Yeah.
morning she's
Oh,
gone.
that's right. Yeah, because they have sex, and then the next day he goes to see her because he wants to propose to her, but then she dips.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm
Yeah.
leaving right now.
She's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild. I was like, no, okay, but that was wild, but I was like, finally!
Yeah.
Finally! Just fucking have sex with me.
It's like, stop breathing in each other's mouth and just kiss.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Smelling her perfume.
Just fucking do it! Do her!
So,
Yeah. So I feel like, again, I was like, my God, did this need to be, like, I was like, it's only 8 episodes, but it felt so long for 8 episodes. And so I was like, did it need to be this long? But it was pretty good. I also like how at the end, the queen, first of all, after they kind of break off the engagement, everybody's like, ooh, what's going on? Ooh, a scandal. Like, what happened? Why did they, like, not fully go through with the marriage? And the queen's also kind of wondering, she's like, what's going on? What happened? Because I basically, like, set this shit up for y'all to get married. Like, what's going on? But I love how at the end, when Kate and Anthony are dancing together, and everybody stops dancing because everybody's like, oh, is this why the engagement broke off? Is this why they didn't get married? And blah, 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 whatever, you know? And I love that the queen goes, what are y'all talking about? I'm the reason that the wedding didn't go through. Like, it has nothing to do with them, you know? And so then she goes, I think they look great. Like, wouldn't everyone agree? Why is no one else dancing, you know? So I loved that. 'Cause
yeah.
I feel like for the most part, season 1 and season 2, we kind of see the queen as like a bad person. Like we see her as someone who doesn't really care about like the other people, and it's her who needs to be like pleased by the other people. But then in this scene, she's kind of like, oh, it's almost that realization of their love, and I know love, and I love sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love. But yeah, and so she basically is like, yeah, it's actually a good thing. Why is everybody staring and judging? Let's all celebrate and dance and do whatever it is.
Yeah.
What did you think about the scene where they're talking to the queen and then the King George
The king
walks
comes in.
I forgot that happened this season.
Yeah. I was not expecting that just because we see so little of the king. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, oh, because the king thought it was their wedding. Because he comes in and he goes, oh, like, am I late? Oh my gosh, like, I didn't know, blah, 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 whatever, you know? And so then, of course, the queen wasn't expecting it either. So she's like, take it back to the room, take it back.
Yeah.
And so then he kind of starts freaking out. He's like, no, like, what's going on or whatever. And then Edwina is able to kind of, like, save the moment. And she's like, she'll make a beautiful bride and she'll make a perfect one and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And I was like, that's kind of sad.
Good job, girl. Like,
Yeah.
she handled that situation
She handled
really
it
well.
so well.
I think that's why the queen comes and saves her reputation at the
Ah.
end. Because she's like, she gets it. Like, she saw that Edwina is a good person and that whatever happened for a reason. And so she's like, whatever, I think they look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after seeing that scene with the king and the queen, I was like, oh, I have to watch the
You
spin-off
have to
now.
watch the spin-off.
Because I was
You
like,
need to.
I know it talks about, like, and it goes into the story of the queen and the king, and I'm like, I have to watch it.
The spin-off hurts.
Does it really?
It does.
I cried
will.
watching that one the most.
Dang,
Yeah.
really? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one.
It's so good. It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. And then, of course, at the end, they like basically get married. They kind of insinuate it. They don't actually show like a wedding or nothing, but they get married. And Chewie actually watched the last last 30 minutes with me. First of all, why y'all making out in front of the family?
Yeah. They're like playing cricket. I don't. It's
Yeah.
not
No, not
cricket. It's not
cricket.
cricket.
What do you call it?
No.
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 Well, they're playing something. But
yeah.
anyways, they like start like making love and like
They're not making love.
They're not making love.
Wow.
Making
But
out.
yeah, because I'm like a little peck, a little quick kiss, you know. But
What
he
do you call
literally
that? Making like?
making like, literally, he puts his arm around her, and they're like, I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I think the family understands because they're in their honeymoon phase.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
honeymoon phase. But it's just funny because like everybody's like, hey,
yeah.
okay.
Everybody's like, okay, let's just keep going.
they just guess they're not joining us.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then Anthony's over here like, should we take this as that chance to go upstairs? And I'm like,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
It's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I would never do that in front of my family.
Me either. I would be so embarrassed. But yeah.
Yep.
So it was pretty good. I feel like a little bit dragged on, definitely, but season 2, not bad.
Did you like season 1 or season 2 more?
I want to say I think I kind of liked season 1 more. Yeah. What about y'all?
After like rewatching or rewatching that recap, and I'm like, you know what? I actually, even though I hate Anthony,
Like
Anthony
season
had to
two?
grow on me.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
season 2 better. I do like season 2 better. I liked season 2 also because there was not a lot of sex scenes.
That's
True.
true.
Whereas season 1 was like every episode was like,
Yeah, I felt like it was a little
That's
like, okay, I
true.
get
Yeah.
it. You guys are horny. I get
Yeah.
it. Like,
and then there was like one episode where it's like the entire thing was like just full of sex scenes.
Yeah,
It's like,
That's
okay.
true. Good
whereas,
point.
yeah, whereas season 2 is more focused on like the story and the
Yeah.
character development.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah,
I think it might be because I just finished season 2 that I'm kind of like, I kind of like season 1 better, but maybe give me some time. I don't know.
yeah.
yeah. I still like season 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
Still the best one, but I do like the spinoff too. I think second season and the spinoff are like equal for me. Like I would still rewatch both.
I would do the spin-off season 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if the spinoff is going to make me
The
cry like
spinoff
that.
is
It
6
might be good.
episodes, so
Oh,
you can
Yeah.
watch
Easy
it.
peasy.
Yeah, you can watch it easy.
Should we all watch it together?
We always say that, but we never actually
we
do it.
did say that. I feel like you probably would enjoy it more watching it
Yes.
together because
Oh, yeah?
it's really slow in the beginning,
Oh.
and then at the end is when it really like
Picks up.
picks up.
Oh,
So you
okay.
might get bored of watching it by yourself.
Mhm.
Man, okay. We'll see.
But, yeah.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
watch it with Nancy because I might not be able to hold myself. I'm like, so this part is.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many times that I was like, Nancy's like, I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta let them form their own
I know.
opinion when you're rewatching something with someone.
So hard.
But yeah, so that's kind of that recap of season 2.
Yeah, season
It was
2.
pretty good. I did like it. So I guess I'll kind of see how the spinoff goes now and then kind of continuing just throughout the rest of the seasons with Bridgerton and everything. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you really like the spinoff. Just have
I heard really
Near
good
the
things
end.
about the spinoffs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, from him.
yeah.
no, one of
For
my
me.
one of my coworkers too,
Oh,
actually. Yeah.
Oh.
She said she really liked the spinoff, so
Nice.
nice.
And then yeah, so after you watch a spinoff, like every scene with the Queen and Lady Danbury and
It makes sense.
yes, it
That
adds
makes
more
sense.
context, and then you're always like, oh, or like,
hmm
oh, or
Yeah.
Oh.
One or the other. But you'll start to understand like why.
yeah,
kind of like the dynamic in the relationship
Mhm.
or
yeah. Also, Violet is also in the spinoff.
Yes.
You learn a little more about her.
Really?
Mhm.
The mom? Ooh.
Yep, you'll
Gotta
learn. You'll
learn a
learn
lot
a
about her.
lot about her. All right.
That's not even a bad thing.
That's a good one. That's
Oh,
a good
okay,
thing.
okay,
hmm
okay.
You'll learn about like gardens and
Flowers.
Flowers.
That's why she always has
Bees.
flowers and her balls and stuff.
yeah, you know,
Uh-huh.
like you learn from Violet like flowers blooming and gardens
Shut
blooming.
up.
So, yeah.
Lots of bees. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, the lack thereof bees.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
that was season 2. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say about season 2 or any final comments regarding kind of what we talked about.
Nope. Pretty good.
Nice.
That was a good recap.
Yeah. Nice. Well, that is it for this episode then. I think next time that we talk, Chewy's going to be co-hosting.
I will be
Or
co-hosting.
hosting.
Or hosting.
He's hosting, yes.
He will be hosting.
He will be hosting it.
Would I? Am I?
Yes, dude. We're talking about raves.
Yes.
We are talking about raves.
Festivals.
Talking about raves, festivals.
festivals.
We're not talking about candy.
We're not?
We're not talking about the bad candy. But we'll be talking about raves and festivals.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.